Greetings and hello, everyone. This is Yahshua Elohim, and I am the co founder and co creator of Sankofa Divinity Administration. I am the spiritual advisor, Reiki Master teacher, as well as inspirational speaker for my company. Um, I am once again glad to be on and be able to, hey, just grateful for the breath in which I have within my body. Um, every breath is a prayer. You understand? Every inhale, every exhale is nothing more than a prayer. So I am so grateful just for my breath, just the breath and the oxygen. Okay. I wanted to come on today. I was going to come on yesterday, but there were a lot of things going on, and I couldn't get to the mic the way that I wanted to. So I'm taking this time today on this rainy day of Thursday uh, to produce a clip, if you will. So I was trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to speak about, or what exactly is it that we need to speak about. Um, and you know, what came to mind, or what was brought to my mind, was a particular dream in which I had. In this dream, I was a baby. I was a baby in a basket, and I was floating down a river. And I've told this dream several times. I'm pretty sure you can find me telling this dream somewhere else on one of my uh, blog talks, or maybe Instagram, maybe LinkedIn, maybe or some other video. But nevertheless, I was a baby in this basket, and I was floating down a river. And this river was untroubled. The sun was out. It was just a beautiful day. And as a babe, you know how a baby is cooing. They're just they're just excited just because. There's no apparent reason. They're just excited. And I was cooing, and I was excited in this basket. So while I was in this basket floating down this river, untroubled now, still waters, I come up under I want to say a bypass, and right at the ceiling of that bypass, or I'll just say a bridge, I came up under a bridge, or overpass. Um, and right at the ceiling of that overpass, there were all of these sparkling lights. I mean, they were just flickering all over the place. It reminds me of the Christmas tree, how the Christmas tree, when it lights up, you got all kind of lights just flickering all over the place. And these lights are different. They're different colors. So, of course, my cooing became even more excited because of the lights. I've always been one who likes or enjoy lights. Um, Lights, now that's Light, light, with an S. But nevertheless, so I come out of that underpass, or overpass, whatever it is. And I come to the end, and right at the end, there's a bank. Now, this bank probably stood probably every bit of maybe 9 feet, okay? Every bit of 9 feet. So here I am in this basket, done come to a complete stop as a babe. And out of nowhere, there's one of my guys or spiritual beings. They threw down they let down a chain, or they threw down a chain. Now, this chain was so huge it could hold two trains together. That's just how huge it was. But anyway, they threw that chain down, and I grabbed it as a babe, as a baby. I grabbed it, and as I was being drawn up or drawn out of the basket, drawn out of the basket, all of these shadows were just falling back into the water, and I could see them out of my peripheral vision. But I still kept being drawn up into that, however, let me put it this way: I still remained focused, and I stayed on that chain. I didn't drop it. I didn't become frightened. I just allowed myself to be brought up or to be elevated out of that basket. And once I got on the very banks of that river, on the banks of that river, there was my spiritual guide. Now, this spiritual guide I can't say that it was a male or female. However, I will say it was full of light. It was nothing but light there. But it was a shape, had a body. It had a shapely, not shapely, but it had a body. Um, but my spiritual guide looked at me. I looked at my spiritual guide. Now, granted, once I got on top of that bank, the banks of that river, I was a grown woman. I was a full grown woman, complete and perfect in my existence. And then on top of that, I was naked. Now, the nakedness is the release of all of these shadows that fell back into this water. And these shadows, they symbolize, um, their experiences, bad experiences I've had, uh, disappointments, breakups, violations, things that perhaps things that I had told myself, things that I've allowed people to project on me and to take on as myself. All of these are shadows. But when I get up on the top of the bank of that river, I am a full grown woman, perfect and complete in my existence, and I am naked and no longer ashamed. I'm no longer ashamed of anything that I have experienced, anything that anybody has placed on me or projected onto me. I am no longer ashamed. Now, granted, hey, I had this dream back in the early 2000s. See, when you have dreams, it doesn't mean that some of those dreams are not for this time. You have to go through a process before even getting to a full interpretation of a dream. And sometimes dreams come in bits and pieces, like a puzzle. Um, but I am, I'm a dreamer. I'm just like Joseph. I dream, I dream all the time. And, there was a point in my life where I went to sleep so that I could dream because my dreams were the guiding light for my life. They provided me with guidelines, the blueprint of things, and how I needed to navigate my life through life. You know what I'm saying? Or navigate my spiritual self through the human experience. Now, I'm going to go back. So, that dream, when I came up out of that basket and I was on the banks of that river, I was naked and not ashamed. So I had that dream in the early 2000s. In 2000 and I think probably 15 or 16, I wrote a one woman show. It's a play. It's called Naked and Not Ashamed. That was the play. It was a one woman show, and I basically talked about that dream. It will forever be with me. I talked about in this play, I talked about how I moved from the darkness of my life into the light. See, when you are surrounded by your shadows, be it shadows that you brought upon yourself or you manufactured in your own mind, or the shadows of people, places, and things, when you're surrounded by all of that, you cannot, it's hard for you to see the end of the tunnel. It's hard for you to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's hard for you to see the light, period. It's hard. It's difficult. And when you try to come out of it, when you decide to place your hand to the plow of your spiritual cultivation, or the expansion of your spirituality, when you begin to do that, those shadows, they begin to fall away, because the frequency of who you are, or the countenance of who you are, begins to elevate and expand. So those shadows, they vibrate at a lower frequency, and they cannot go where you're going. They cannot be hanging around. You can't be having, you're not going to be having the same conversations that you used to have when you were in the midst of shadows, okay? You can't have those conversations, or it will be repulsive. You will find yourself in conversations where you will feel repulsed by the things that are said. You can find yourself going to particular environments that you used to enjoy, and you find it all repulsive. It makes you sick to the stomach. And I'm gonna tell you this, it's just like in the Bible. They say, and I don't know what the scripture is, I just know it's in there. When you turn back and you try to go back to the shadow aspects of your life, or the darker ways of your life, and how you used to conduct yourself in that darkness, when you turn back, it is no different than a dog turning back to eat his own vomit. That's why it's repulsive. That is why the shadows, once you come out of it, come out from among them and be ye separate. Once you do that, it becomes repulsive. You hate it. And you should hate it, because I hate anything that is a threat to my divinity, whether it's self-inflicted or I've allowed other people to inflict it upon me. I hate it. I abhor it. I abhor it. I hate the iniquity of things in which I have done in the dark ways of my life. You know, um, I just, yeah, yeah, yes, indeed. So here I am, doing my thing as my thing, and allowing the divine to speak through me and to express myself as a divine being, having this human experience. And I tell you what, when you come out on the other side, you're a much better person. You're a greater person. Matter of fact, you see the greater good of who you are. The value of who you are has increased. You know why? Because it is you who have qualified yourself to be such. You have raised the appraisal of your own existence. And that is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, because you are no longer bound by the dark things of your past. I was having a conversation with someone the other week, and I stated to them, I said, "Hey, I let the past belongs to the past. But today, the present belongs to me. And that's why it is a gift. The present is a gift and it belongs to you. It doesn't belong to anyone else. And you shouldn't feel guilty for owning your present and opening up that gift of life, of joy, of love, compassion. You know, you shouldn't feel guilty and you shouldn't let somebody else make you feel guilty because you have decided to do a new thing from a spiritual perspective. At the end of the day, there is nothing but love. You know, every once in a while I may come across or I may think about uh, Aleister Crowley, and he has this saying that love is the law, love under will. Do what thy will shall be the whole of the law. You know what the law is? Love. And you can't get around that. Love and law work together. You cannot get around that. So, as spiritual beings, having this human experience in this human existence, it behooves us to get to a place and space within our being, within ourselves, to love, first of all, who we are as a divine being. And out of that pouring of love, you give to the world, and the world becomes your best friend. In the universe, your lover. Huh? That's the way I see it. And that's the way I'll always see it. no matter no matter how I don't even care how anyone else sees me or how they choose to see me. They choose to see me because they are afraid. They are afraid of me. Huh? Just like they are afraid of you. See, people are afraid of you when they don't understand you. And then out of that fear, you have jealousy. The fruits of that fear is jealousy, envy, lying on you, betrayal, backstabbing. All to take you down as a spiritual being because they don't understand it. They are afraid of it. And they're so prideful that they cannot embrace the message or the presence of who you are in their lives. They're so puffed up and full of pride, you know. But hey, at the same time, you have to love those. You have to love those same people. You don't have to like them, but you do have to love them. You're commissioned and you're commanded to love because the love is the fundamental factor of living and having this human experience. It is getting to a place where you love everyone and recognizing that, hey, you don't have to like them. You don't have to like them. But because you love them, you can have compassion for them. You can lift them up. You can lift them up. You can smile at them when they're looking at you. Huh? You can do good to them when you know that they're doing something they should not be doing towards you. It's some part of the initiation, if you will. And I'm going to say this and then I'm going to drop it. Every initiation that you go through, once you come out of it, the universe rewards you every single time. Every single time. simply because you held the faith, you kept the faith of your relationship with the divine, or with the inner presence or the ascended master divinity within yourself. I don't know why I say ascended master, but the I am that I am presence that is within you. You kept the faith, and you stayed solid on that relationship. I kept the faith, and I am solid on my relationship with the divine. I'm not saying that I don't have knee-jerking experiences, because I do. But even those knee-jerking experiences, I welcome them, because everything that comes into my life or your life, it comes to motivate and promote and assist you in the elevation and the expansion of your consciousness. Hmm? So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out, and hopefully, my prayer is that this reaches someone, and they know that, or they feel, they sense that they are not alone. You're not alone. You're all one. You're not alone. You're all one, all together lovely is what you are. Okay? So, with that, I say to you all, be blessed, stay focused, and if you find yourself in darkness, get all the understanding, the knowledge, and the wisdom that you need. Because at some point in your life, you're going to be doing the same thing in which I am doing. You're going to be compelled to be an expression of your divinity, the God of your understanding, the I am that I am presence that is within you, the presence of all that is and all that will ever be, the cause, the first causation of your existence. Let that be the space in where you live, move, and have your being this day. Be blessed, and I say namaste.